Multitasking is the end to productivity.
Editor's note, this is one of my essays I wrote in college. Pretty much I'm going to tell you why multitasking is harming your productivity and how you can become more productive. And I'm also going to cut out like 98% of it because you don't need to read 98% of it.
People have these things called flow states. A flow state is basically where you're just focusing on the one thing that's in front of you, and it's kind of like where you're in a zen. Now, the problem is when we have to multitask, we often have to direct our attention away from what we're on in our flow state. And that means reorienting, reshifting, and refocusing on a new thing. And we create this time period of transition time. Now, transition time is kind of a problem because each time you have a new transition and each time you have a new thing you have to refocus on. So think about how many emails you get in a day. And every time an email distracts you from what you're doing, you've completely lost that amount of time from your flow state and getting things done. Multitasking can be beneficial in small doses. However, if you're constantly having to refocus and you're losing time due to all the different distractions that come into your daily life, you're not going to be as productive as you could be. Think of how many notifications you get on your phone a day. Think of how many emails you get a day. Think of how many people try to call you and ask for your focus and your attention. All of that is taking away from your ability to get the tasks that you need done. The best thing you can do for yourself is work on one task at a time and get that task done and not start anything else until then. If you're someone like me and you really struggle with distractions and you want advice on how to handle this with ADHD, these are my recommendations. Every time you have somebody, you get an email or you get something that comes up or you think of something that you need to remember, open your notes app or pull out a piece of paper, write it down, get back to what you're doing, because now you've addressed it, you've talked about what this is, you've written it down so you'll remember it later and you don't forget about it, which is such a problem, and then you'll be able to come back to it later and address it after you get this task done. Another thing you can do as somebody that, like, even if I have my phone off, even if I have it away from me, I can't study by myself. I can't study or focus or do anything by myself. So what I do instead is I go to a public place that has a lot of people and I think to myself, all of these people are watching me, and if they see that I am not studying and I am not trying, they're going to be disappointed in me. So therefore, I have to.
Editor's note, this does not mean that people are actually going to be disappointed in you. I just weaponize my issues.
Another little tipsy that has helped me a lot with this type of productivity issue is when you have certain things that you don't like to do as much, or maybe I don't really like to study for this class, or I don't really like to do this. I design certain playlists for each type of thing I'm doing in that time to really keep me focused and remind my brain every time I plug that music in, this is what this playlist is for. So I have a cleaning playlist. I have a study for this specific type of class playlist. And each time I play that music, my brain's like, okay, this is what we're doing. Basically what I'm saying is make a playlist associated with each type of task or set of things you have to do in the day, and it will completely change your life. I watched a girl on, I can't remember her name, but if you do know what I'm talking about, please tag her, because she's the one that brought up this idea for me. But pretty much she had it where she matched each one of her tasks and chores with a song, and that I used like the playlist.
Editor's note, pass the class.
And as always, guys, leave your questions in the comments below and like and subscribe if you like this type of content.